would have had to go, like really go, which I've done that, it just certain things took place to the point where God needed me there to reap the wisdom that came from it. And I think that's where people like they don't think that far, like they don't think far enough to be like, okay, this girl actually did learn something. They stop thinking at a certain point of the journey and then make that the end all be all. But it goes further than that. It goes past that.
Yeah.
Because somebody was like, when is this nature boy shit gonna die? This nature boy shit gonna die when those type of souls or those personality types learn what they need to learn and start changing here on earth. Our change here on earth is what takes us to our fate. Not fucking up here and doing fuck shit here and expecting us to be there when we transition or however the fuck. Like, that's the craziest part to me about the whole thing, because realistically, in reality, like when you're talking on a global scale, like as a community, so many other people are going through what I went through, if not worse.
Exactly.
People have died, people have lost their lives, like, and it's going on at crazy rates. Sex trafficking. Do you know how fucked up sex trafficking is? Like, think about, like take your mind there. Like, people.
The girlfriend of the friend of mine that he dated, the one that he when we met, he came up to me to try to talk to me. He was just a barber. Everybody called him Bishop. And I jokingly was like, no, you can talk to my friend. But I thought she was going to turn him down, but she didn't. She talked to him. And so that's why he would say that weird stuff like, I was supposed to be with you, not your friend, and blah, blah, blah. But she was trafficked. She was a victim of sex trafficking from the time she was 14 until she was 18. And that was the thing. One of the things that I used to tell her all the time, like, he sounds like a pimp. Like, don't talk to him. The only thing that helped her, I think, is that she was in California and he lived in Atlanta. So he didn't have that proximity to be able to, like, really work on her head. And she eventually was able to cut him off. But he lingered for a long time. Like, he would still try to come around and blah, blah, blah. And so it didn't surprise me to see him doing what he was doing. It just hurt me. Like, I don't know if you remember the first time I ever spoke to him, like, I cried. I was like, these are people's kids. Like, this is somebody's daughter. That's somebody's, like, why are you doing this? Like, what's up with this? Are you for real right now? Like, is this real? And he was like, no, it's not what you think. It's not what but narcissists are very cunning. And the flip side, what people don't understand about your dynamic with the women is that he would tell you to go harder on them, but then he would put things in their heads about you. It's called triangulation. It's something that narcissists do.
We saw that all the time. That's why I never wanted to be in the relationship. And you know what they did, or he did rather? He turned that into, oh, so you don't love me. You don't want to be there for me. You don't want to, and I really didn't give a fuck about that, quite honestly. Like, I done told this nigga to his face, like, no, I don't give a fuck about nothing that's going on. My focus is not even where it should be. And every time I put my focus there, my focus is being taken away from that aspect of my life and put in a position that you have highlighted. And this shit don't make sense. We supposed to be out here gardening. We supposed to be like communing to a degree where we actually building. We ain't doing none of that. You keep taking me to this place and to this place and to this place just to fuck. Nigga, not here for that. I didn't come here for that. And then to hear him in the meeting with the other women and degrade them the way that he did was even more fucked up to me. And I used to tell him, like, he don't give a fuck about you. And then it started that me saying that to them, it started making me realize, like, damn, this nigga don't give a fuck about none of us. But in those positions, I was still held hostage and I still had to sit in that shit. I'm talking about real life, sit in that shit a couple times. So with that, those type of individuals, though, like, they here to learn certain lessons, and we're not here to, like, change or have control over other people's, lessons that they need to learn in life. So I stopped taking things personally. Like, I could take a lot of things personally. Like, why would you choose me to fuck over? You know what I'm saying? But I choose not to take things personally and just leave it where it is and let them be who they are, but separate myself from it because my focus is somewhere else, you know, and that's all I've been ever trying to say to him. Like, we're supposed to be focused on other things. We're not focused on that right now. Like, we're literally not doing that right now. So eventually, that's why I stopped getting on live and talking. Like, a lot of people was like, where did she go? You know, I went from being one of the people that's like popping my shit to silent because of the dynamic of the situation. But right now in my life, I will say this. Now in my life, because I'm able to put my focus where it needs to be, where I always wanted it to be, and I've actually accomplished things because my focus was there before I got to carbonation, you know, whatever the case may be. But I'm actually, you know, I'm sitting on my own land right now, like right before y'all. Like, I'm really just sitting cooling on my back porch type shit, like next to a lake. Like, this is mine. Like, we out here, like, it's enough space to have my garden. It's enough space to have some chickens, you feel me? My children, they gonna be building stuff. We gonna be doing everything that we need to do, like, and this is not my only home. This is not, no, thank you. This is not my only home. God said, my child, you will have many mansions all over the world. My children getting spoiled right now, like, literally. And it's certain things that I have to regulate as a mother when it comes to that, because of the world that we live in. And this was the focus was supposed to be at carbonation. So not only am I there on your fuck shit time and energy, we having babies too? Oh no. I don't want this for my child. I used to say that shit all the time. You know what he did? He separated me and Eliana as much as possible the first 2 years of her life. So I had to then and therefore tear down the foundation that he built in her mind and in her heart and put something else there. And that's why me and Eliana have a different relationship. And that's why I'm more like stricter with her when it comes to responsibilities and how she's processing life. Because if I would have continued to allow him to parent her and indoctrinate her with his way of thinking, Eliana, man, I don't want to see my child like that. I don't want to see no child like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? I done took care of other people's children before, like as if they were my own. Like, this, I'm not new to this shit. You know what I'm saying? But the focus is creating a better world. And yes, through our children, we have a better chance at doing that. We do have a better chance at making the world better through our children, because you have so many people that have already been born before last year's generation, this year's generation, and next year's generation, where they're stuck in their ways and they can't think outside of certain paradigms that debilitates them on a soul level. And we watching this nigga Nature Boy go through that, and he calls himself woke. He's professing that, so you know there's something mentally and emotionally and spiritually going on with our lineage of people.
It's true. Just the mere fact that people would even gravitate to that. Like, I talk about that a lot. Like, as a community, why do we gravitate to chaos and dysfunction and call it entertainment? Like, why is that what is entertaining to us? But the problem is that so many people prefer to watch someone else's dysfunction so that they don't have to do the work that they have to do with themselves. Like, people will always try to watch somebody else's dysfunction so that they can be like, well, at least I'm not as bad as her. Well, at least my situation, well, I've been crazy for a man, but I've never been that bad. But it's like, but you're still broken, and your brokenness and your own trauma is what's drawing you to this chaos, and you're not doing the work because you're too busy looking over here rather than actually doing the work. And just down talking the people that you're watching keeps you in that same place, and it gives you an excuse not to do the work, just perpetually broken. And it's sad.
That part.
It's sad. It's really sad, because we just, and you know what really sucks? Velvet, is that time